All the way up. That's
The
Rosary with
way
the
up.
song Way Up. That's Rosary with the song Way Up. And on the show, we stayed way up. Queens on the mic. My name is Bionic. And we segue on to behind the business segments. And first of all, we're going to be discussing a topic that's well known to those that have been following us on social media. You know that we're talking brand assuredness and data protection and trust. Brand assuredness, data protection, and trust. I don't know why this is important. Coming from the layman's angle, we don't know nothing about it. We just know data, we know content, and that's what we know. Everyone's on social media. But the amazing women we have in the studio will be shedding light and focusing, zeroing in to bring us up to speed on this topic. And by that, we'll be segueing to strengthening the culture. They would move on to that ethnic business through the network of ample women. And that's an acronym. I love that acronym, by the way. I love the acronym. All right, so introduction, live in the studio with me to do justice, no pun intended, is staring at Defulu. Did I pronounce it correctly? Aha. She is the Chief Legal Officer, Chief Compliance Officer, and Company Secretary, and a lot of other things at Ample Nigeria. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Is that all we're getting? Just thank you.
Okay, it's great to be here.
When we saw you on the video, you were quite boisterous, but now it seems like you're not trying to give us everything. But we'll have questions for you. And with her also is Vivian Ogene. I won't ask because I know I pronounced that right.
Yes,
hmm
correct.
She's the Senior Business Development Manager at Ample Life. So I will get to asking what the difference between Ample Nigeria and Ample Life is in a minute. And so to step into the engine room of culture, leadership, and talent at Ample. And we want you to know behind every thriving organization are people people decisions and they shape per- performance, purpose, and possibilities. I won't say anything anymore. I want us to start with the difference. What's the difference between Ample Nigeria and Ample Life?
So I can take that.
Yes, please.
Emple Nigeria is descriptive. Within Nigeria, Emple has two companies, a life insurance company and a general insurance company. So Emple Nigeria just describes the two companies that we have in Nigeria.
Okay, simple.
Yes.
So, what does life do? What does Ample Life do? What's Ample Life about, Vivian?
So Ample Life is about the life insurance. So this speaks to your life, my life,
Aha.
everyone's life. So
Oh,
it's different from general. So general insurance speaks to non-life. So anything that has no life in it. So we talk about the motor insurance, we talk about
oh, I
aviation, we talk
see.
about your
Fine.
property, your fire, your burglary,
You guys are trying to be
etc.,
funky. Now I
etc.
understand. Once I heard the word insurance, I knew, what you guys are trying to do. Okay. So first of all, I'll start with you, Darren. I can call you Darren, right?
Yes, please.
Sometimes in broadcasting they say, first name. And one time this young guy called this 6-year-old legend by his name outside, and he said, I won't say what he said. All right, so I'm glad I can call you Darren. So, first question is why is data protection becoming such a critical issue for a lot of companies today? It's something that companies have been getting more involved with, and we want to know: is there something the layman don't know? Why that is so important?
I think it's for everyone to know. It
Yes.
is critical. It is indeed critical. But I would say to start is to understand what is data. And it's just information that directly identifies an individual. And so the reason it's critical in today's world is there's such a rapid increase in the use of digital data as opposed to what was happening in the past. We collect customer information in what we do. We
Hmm.
collect proprietary information, your NIN, your BVN. And then, we also have the risks of cyber security threats.
Hmm.
And the reason that is also key in this discussion is you don't want a situation where cyber criminals get access to your customers' data or your staff members' data. So other issues are even financial and operational risks, because if the data that you have obtained for lawful and meaningful use is obtained by the wrong hands, the company might be exposed. And I think even the more we think about how the world is going, a lot of information is stored on the cloud. So how you process, how you store, how you retain the data must be clearly articulated and adhered to in terms of data protection rules. And I think finally, I also speak about remote work and the way the world is going. So we have a situation where we just have so much information that is being stored digitally. So data protection comes in to guide, protect, and ensure that both customers, employees, staff members, and everyone understands that their data is being used, processed, and stored in line with lawful means. So
Hmm.
it is critical.
So when you talk about cloud, we have a lot of almost everybody and their mamas are compliant now. So do you is there a worry about hacking the cloud?
Absolutely.
So what are you guys doing about that to preserve when it comes to that?
So we have policies in place to guide that. We also have IT policies. We have data protection rules in terms of retention, in terms of storage, in terms of processing. And cloud specifically is also an evolving topic, especially in Nigeria. So what we do is we just adhere to all the rules and regulations in terms of storage. I would also add that in MPO, over and above the requirements, we have internal policies that guide the protection of what we store on the cloud. So in that regard, I would say that our customers feel secure.
Hmm. Customer security is key. And I can almost see people smiling, from ear to ear. They're like, okay, we see insurance as, it's catching up with us and it's on that P. It's. So let me come to you, Vivian. Um, so we're talking brand assuredness, we're talking data protection, we're talking trust. So the question for me, from your angle of business development, is how does trust influence client relationship at work, like at Ample Life, right? How does it um how does it influence what's happening in there? And of course, from the business side of things, and not right up your alley. So please.
Okay. Trust is at the heart of every client relationship. And insurance is built on mutual trust. So when you buy a policy, let's say you buy a policy, you're protecting against risk and you're trusting that the insurer will pay you your claim when that claim crystallize. Likewise, the insurance company is also thinking, is assuming that you will be responsible enough to also take care of that business or that property you have insured, not because you have insurance. So it means
You just
that
let go.
you let go and not be responsible enough, you know, to guide against any risk. So trust is very important. So over time, trust is built on consistencies, which leads to customer loyalty.
Hmm. Trust. That's one of the things that clients really for the longest of time, I've always had problems with insurance. Like, okay, what's is it just they'll take the money and that's it, that off. What work are they doing? What are they actually doing for us? Which brings me back to you, Darren. Um, Looking ahead, because of your background, how will legal frameworks around, the law and stuff and ethical leadership shape the future of business trust with these people we're talking about? Because I know everything is different in Nigeria. Anything that's normal, anything that's cool, when it comes here, we put a spin on it. So addressing these people, how does that work?
I'll take it broadly. Would always shape. In terms of technology, I would state that legal frameworks would help in just ensuring the responsible use of technology in an era of digital transformation, AI,
Hmm.
um, data analytics, and cybersecurity. So legal frameworks come to protect. Legal frameworks come to ensure that we adhere to rules around the use of these emerging technologies. It is a growing area, And where there are no laws, I find that especially in private sector, we have internal policies that also guide, and then we also adhere to international norms. Another aspect that I would say is important is in even regulating the remote or flexible work, simply because there's a rise in like the world is becoming more global and there's a rise in digital work. So legal frameworks are here to protect us in that regard. Nigeria does not have any standalone laws. All we have right now is our labor laws, and the labor laws do not have such a wide applicability. So, what we just do is we must always ensure that our internal policies also guide, and employee contracts. Every company would know what it does to guide such issues. And then I think just even in general in Nigeria, I would say we must think about strengthening our labor protections, fair employment, and governance and accountability. So we have various codes of corporate governance that guide.
Okay.
And so I would just say a holistic approach is what we should use in looking at the issues. And yes, that's what I'll say about that. Thank you.
That works. That works. I hope if you're listening, listen, you can't complain anymore about this because the women are here to shed light and paint a vivid picture why, insurance is important, why data protection is important to you and to give you assurance that your data is secure. I'll come to you, Vivian. How does the concept of brand assurance, right, help you in your line of work attract and retain clients?
That's spot on. Insurance thrives on trust, and brand assuredness is the proof for that. So at Empo, our brand is our reputation. So we guide it fearlessly. So let's put it in context. So when you enter an insurance contract with us, we're promising you we're going to deliver within 24 hours or 48 hours in terms of paying your claim. You're sure that we're going to stick to that accordingly in delivering those promises that we have made to you. However, if there are any hiccups or challenges, we'll do you the onions to also communicate by circling back to you to tell you what is going on in that space and also give you timelines in terms of when we're going to resolve the issue. So that is very important because we understand that in doing all of this, we will earn your trust and the likelihood of you recommending us or giving us referrals is very key in all of these interactions.
Very well said. Very well said. I know about Nigerians and word of mouth when they're impressed. But we'll take a break, a music break. When we return, we'll still be talking to Demi Adefulu, Chief Legal Officer, Ample Nigeria, and Vivian Ogene, Senior Business Development Manager. It's still Queens on the mic. My name is Bionic. Stay here. Don't go nowhere.
To the ladies and all parties going. Where the ladies at? And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen? To the ladies and all parties going. Where the ladies at? And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
What would the world be without beautiful, powerful women? The Mimas, the grandmas, the nation building. Who educates us, challenges, teaches, love us, support us. It gives birth to all the world's sons and daughters. And y'all deserve props cause y'all running hip hop. Started with Shy Rock, 50 years later, women is on top. Bahamadia, Missy, Moni, Light, and Queen Latifah. Miss Lauryn Hill is an honor for me to even meet you. Where would we be without queens in the microphone? Roxanne and Shantae, we both call QB home. Though she pushing the culture, I'm inspired by Salt and Pepper, Nikki, Foxy, and Kim, and Megan, Cardi, and Left Eye. Plus, nothing realer than Lotto, Glorilla, and Rod Digger, Remy, Rhapsody, and Eve, all straight killers. And I was signed by a woman, she created a movement. So much love to Faith Newman. What we doing? This one goes out to the whole woman nation.
To the ladies and all party goers. Where the ladies at? And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
With love from Nas and Cream, this one goes
To the ladies and all party goers. Where the ladies at? And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
yeah, divine feminine, beyond fine shit. Not a ting, not a joint. When my eyes squint, you'll see what I see. Our presence together is always a pleasure. So I figured I'd write you a letter. You a queen, you a star, supernatural. Pure gratitude by your side, but let me ask you, why don't the world recognize your hard work? You being unappreciated makes my heart hurt. Aphrodite almighty, it's no myth, you remind me of all motivating women that's been with me beside real one. Love you from now to infinity, in every way, from spiritual, mentally, physically. You showed me how to be more empathetic. Shout to the female DJs mixing this record, and you the flies by far, stop playing with her. Every glass, raise it up. This is for my ladies. This one goes out to the whole woman nation.
To the ladies and all party goers. Where the ladies at? And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
With love from Nas and Cream, this one goes
To the ladies and all party goers. Where the ladies at? And if you know who you are, why don't you make yourself seen?
This goes to all of y'all. Mia X, Yo Yo, y'all been putting it down. Lady of Rage, Dimples D, Sparky D, Sweet T, Beverly Pooh, Antoinette, Jean Grey, Lola Brooke, Sexy Red, Coyle Ray, City Girls, Cash Doll, Honey Baby, Bernadette Price, Charlie Baltimore, Trina, Doja Cat, LaChat, Rest in Poetry, Gangsta Boo, MC Trouble, Shout to Conscious Daughters, in Oaktown 357, Sweetie, Isis, Dia, shout out to Ladybug Mecca, The Sequence, Debbie D and Lisa Lee, Heather B, Nikki D, Azalea Banks, Champ MC, Nishi Me, all y'all lit, Frickin' Frat, Vanessa Sinquist. I could go on and keep going.
No, you can't go on. This is our time. Shout out to Nas and DJ Premier on that one. It's off his brand new album, and where they're giving, it's called Bouquet to the ladies, where he's giving shout out to all the wonderful women in hip hop, from Yo Yo to MC Light to Latifah to Doechii that won a Grammy last year, to everyone. You know, we're just all about celebrating the queens off the mic. Literally, it's the queens on the mic, and the queens on the mic in the studio. Queens on the mic. I could go on Queens on the mic in. Yes, I can. We still have the Ample Nigeria, beautiful women, opening our minds and our eyes to issues on data protection, trust, and giving us brand assuredness. So we're still talking to Darian Adefulu, who's the Group Chief General Counsel at Ample Nigeria, and also we're talking to Vivian Ogene, who's the Senior Business Development Manager, and we're having quite the conversation. If you're just joining in, you missed a whole lot. So what you do, we'll advise you to take this advice, right? Tune in every Wednesday, 2 p.m. and business will not be as usual. All right, so we'll return to you, Dami. Um, I have a question that has to do with well, everything's about relationships, but this one is always you know how it is with consumers. So what role does trust play, right, in building long-term relationships with your clients, partners, whoever, it might be customers, it might be people that are partnering with you, how it's guaranteed, and what can a customer do if that is breached? Whatever business you have with them, it is breached, and how do you guarantee one? And secondly, how do you have if it's breached, how do you respond to them when they come at you?
Okay. Trust is actually foundational. Trust is the basis of most relationships. And in Apple Nigeria, for example, without trust, we'll be unable to retain our clients, and client retention is important.
Yes.
So I believe that it's important, and trust builds client loyalty. These are examples. You would also strengthen the reputation of your brand when
That's
you
true.
trust the relationship. I can use the example of a famous online vendor. Just because of trust, people will always go back to shop with that vendor because they know that their products will deliver. They know that if they're not delivered, they will be replaced. So it's important to understand on that how foundational trust is. It also reduces perceived risk because when you trust the brand and you trust a company, then you actually believe that nothing will go wrong, and that in itself entrenches the relationship. Enables long-term collaboration because the truth is, when you have a good relationship with your customers, your clients, it might actually lead to strategic partnerships that evolve into that, and it also encourages open communication.
Mm.
The other part of your question was
When
when
if
trust.
it's breached, yes,
Exactly.
and you know that various kind of customers, right? There's a calm customer that as you're looking at them, they're not talking to you, they're looking at you like, I know you're not going to come back. There's that customer. Then there's that customer that comes hell and high waters, brimstone, and eventually. So how do you know, balance this? But how do you deal with them?
So what we do is you must be open and transparent. And I believe that most customers would realize that there are clear explanatory reasons for trust being breached. So each case is dealt with on its merits. But once you are clear, you're open, you're transparent. Once you have policies and practices in place to protect customers in that scenario. So, good example is the customer comes with a complaint. We have a complaints procedure. We have timelines that guide that, and the customer is provided with such information. In the interim, we can also have things we do to kind of calm the situation, and you find that um,
Like,
there are different things we can do. We have discretionary decisions that can be taken in the moment. And, depending on with management approval, if we're dealing with, for example, maybe a claim on a policy,
mm,
pay the claim in the interim, depending when issue is resolved, but on a case by case basis. So, what I guess the main point I have examined and seen in our experience is that depending on how meaningful you are in addressing a customer's issue in terms of the breach of trust, sometimes that actually even leads to a more meaningful relationship and deepens the trust because it showed that you were open, it showed that you were ready to get constructive criticism, and it shows the customer that this is a company that is here for the long run, not just here to make money, but also to actually build on the relationships that it's working on. So I think that, as I said, as cases are dealt with on its merits, just be open, transparent, and clear in how you handle cases of breaches of trust. And I believe that things should get better from there.
okay, what about that client, that one client that will not come back? Let's say you give them some time, they're not coming to do business again. How do you deal with such a client? How do you win them back? How do you go out of your way to rebuild the trust they had? Because sometimes these things happen and it's not planned, but it's really gruesome, like it's serious, and they're like, I'm gone. So how do you deal with that kind of client?
The truth is, no one knows the outcomes. But what's important is that the company is clear in its policies, it's articulate in how it resolves its issues. And I believe that not to say that that one customer doesn't matter, but what's important is in articulating and in handling the issue in itself. You build trust because you show that you are here for each customer, each individual customer.
Hmm.
It is our hope, it's our belief that even that last customer will come back. But a company just has to do what it can, um, take each case in by its merits.
So you don't go chasing them.
We go chasing them,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
We have people on the
Okay.
field. Yes.
Just wanted to hear that, because some people want to be chased, others are just
I mean,
um
I can even state that as a follow-on to this question is the fact that the more you understand the needs of your clients, the less you have a breach of a trust. And then the more that trust is built because we understand the needs, we understand the pain points, and we work towards addressing the pain points.
That's great too because when you also understand the clients, when they pull a no show, you know what to do. You know how to
Absolutely.
approach them as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome, awesome, great feedback. Vivian, I'll come to you now. So what role does transparency play when you're negotiating and with a client or you're trying to build new business?
Thanks for that question. So at MPO, transparency is very important to us. We always try to see things from a client perspective, assess people. We try to understand their business dynamics. Well, then we now design solutions that truly meet those needs. Like my colleague highlighted, the most important thing in insurance is understanding the gaps and understanding those needs. And when you provide solutions, the likelihood and take them through the policy onboarding to explain the exclusions and the clauses in those policies, we could mitigate any form of conflict. And this helps to build clients' understanding and understanding why they should even patronize us in the first place. Uh, most cases, our customers has come to appreciate us that we are very honest when it comes to onboarding this policy processing. And the thing they like about it is that there are no surprises at the end of it all. And people understand what they are going into, the contract that they are signing, and what they are buying into. So eventually, that's, endeared to us, and they also refer us to other customers or within their community. So it's been an awesome. Being transparent is very, very key when you want to do business of insurance.
So that paints a clear picture for someone like me that went to Harvard, and Tolu and I, were at, Oxford together. That's fine. But when you're talking to the market woman, right, you're talking to my Alaba brother, how do you convey that transparency that you have that you're going to be offering that they don't need to worry about that? How do you convey trust and all that stuff?
Okay, so let's use a motor insurance for an instance. Alaba International Trader buys a motor insurance from Empo, and there is an exclusion in that policy that says that if you have a claim, this certain percentage will not be covered. And the person will say, no, I bought an insurance. When I have an accident, I will just quickly run to you and then I'm clean. And then you're coming to come and explain to me what this excess is all about. And I'm saying, sorry, there's going to be an excess of certain percentage. And the person is frowning at it. But so at the point of buying, I'm going to educate you, sir. What exactly do you want from this product? And say, you know what? I want to buy a holistic insurance when I have a claim. I don't want to hear all of those your exclusions, all those your jargons. Just come clean with me. And then I'll come clean with you and I'll tell you these are the exclusions and these are the clauses. But you know what? You can actually mitigate against this. And this is what you do. Buy that exclusive policy so that when there is any claim or damage, if Vivian doesn't come to tell you, oh, boss, this is not cover, and then we have good business. And then, so it means it's going to be an additional premium. That's what it means. But the value, yes, you will get the value.
Okay. Let me come from another angle. Okay, so you're from the south, right?
Yes, yes.
So you come across someone from the northeast that don't speak any kind of English, right? And he has like 25 million naira in cattle riches and all that stuff. He doesn't know what you're talking about. How do you win him over?
Bros, you want to buy insurance, motor insurance. I go take time explain out to you. See, if you get accident,
He
you
doesn't he
won't
doesn't have a
claim.
cow.
He doesn't have a car.
Mm-mm.
Okay, he has a cattle farm.
Yes.
And so he wants to do an agri insurance. That's what it means.
Yes.
Oh,
Just
okay.
buy anything that you feel he would be interested in.
Okay. So let's assume that the person wants to insure his cattle against any form of theft. So I'm going to take time to explain to the cattle rearer to say he doesn't understand English also too. So then I'll break it down with the pidgin English and say this is the policy you are buying. This one are the policy when they buy. Say if they thief your cow, meaning say the insurance company go come pay you the cow when they thief. But also no say, you know, be say you go buy insurance, you come say you can't go expose your cow, make they come thief am o, so that you can't say, ah, I don't already get insurance in place. So if they thief my cow, employee insurance go come pay. No, I dey tell you, say if you go buy the insurance, but you go so ensure say you put security for your farm to the guide those cow. So you know go expose yourself and also not expose us because say you dey buy insurance. That's the way I will onboard that individual.
Hmm. I I think I'm sold because you see, I realize that communication is key, right? And one of the most difficult people to not just sell to, just having to paint a picture where you want them to understand what you're saying is a problem. It's someone that you don't speak the same language with. And I'm not talking about tribe now. I'm talking about general, like how you step down to figure and some people do get it. But there are keywords that would and the aura that would sell what you're trying to. So I'm glad that you shed light on that, and people at home listening will have an idea that it's not a bougie, service you're offering at
Absolutely.
Temple, and
Mm.
it's for everyone, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Without going taking any more of your time, I want to hear the last words for that one young lady that's listening and is like what they say, I'm on the line. I see they look great, full of energy, subtle and calm but powerful. What are the last words for that teenager?
That's an interesting one. I would say just do it. Believe in yourself.
Okay,
You have your
great.
own unique value proposition and just own it. The reason I say that is sometimes people believe that there is a perfect way to be. There's a perfect prototype of what is successful. There's a perfect prototype of what is important. But I actually disagree. I think that if you lean into your unique value proposition and who you are, what you
Whatever it
have to,
is.
yes,
Right.
it is more authentic
Mm.
and it would help you, it would sell you.
Mm.
So own it.
Yeah. Just do it.
Amazing. So the keyword that stands out there for me is authentic. And I know you listening, that's what should stand out for you too, because a lot of times people make us feel like we're not enough. You know, people make us feel like I was just, being like my friend said, joking. I was being joking a while ago about Harvard and Oxford. The people that would never go to Harvard. There are people that will never leave Lagos in their lifetime. We need to take this one. There are people that will never do it. So we have to be all inclusive. And when you're your authentic self, those things before by the way, so they're not problem anymore. Yeah. So Vivian, last words. So for that person that wants to sell, and will say I can sell water to a well. I'm like, okay, let me see the goods. What are the words for that person that is interested in marketing that wants to that can take no for an answer? They can be borderline annoying, if you don't find it right. What's your word for that feeling to do it
So
right?
what I would say to that female is be a person of value. When you go out and prospect a customer, what the customer actually wants is the value that you're bringing in. That's your unique value proposition. That's what's going to make you unique from any other person. And be real, be authentic, but also be transparent. I also understand because of pressure of targets, you want to meet the target and then you want to cut corners. But trust me, it's not going to It won't land, yeah, and those relationships are going to be burnt. So from offset, let your customer know you comes to value, you're top notch, and when it comes to sincerity, you're going to say the truth and be honest in onboarding them on that policy. And trust me, they will be that brand ambassador for you. So go for it.
Mm, go for it. All right. Jerry, tell us how we can find you in wherever. Let's say we're looking for Ample. Where do we find you?
Oh, please. Emple is all over Nigeria. We have main offices are based in Lagos, Victoria Island, plot 1297 Akin Adeshola Street, Victoria Island. We also have representative offices across the country. We also have a website. Just Google us, Emple Nigeria, and the URL will come up. And of course, we have an open door policy. So walk in and just come and find out what we have. We have a solution for every Nigerian. Our tagline is Empower, we empower people. So come on, come on.
Yeah, we empower people for
Empowering
sustainability.
people.
Yeah.
I remember that. New. Okay. So social media, what are your handles? What are your phone numbers? You know,
So I would suggest just Google us because we have a Instagram handle. We're also online. We're on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and we are everywhere. Once you type in Emple, everything will show up. It will be safer than giving you a handle and missing out an underscore.
are you sure? Are you sure there are no people that sound like Ample that when you just type Ample and you just take someone there because there are people that do that as well. You know, we're
Trust.
talking data protection and all that stuff. There are people that say, okay, Ample is here. I used to know someone back in the 10,
Yeah.
15 years ago. What they would do is the big company names, the new prospective, companies, you go and register, website addresses, emails, close to what they sound like, and that's how he's made money. So they reach out, they say, no, this is not available. Let's say Ample.com now, no, it's not available. Okay, tell the owner I want to buy $10,000. So that's why I'm asking that.
Oh,
So because, the whole world
we assure
lives
you,
online
we're
now.
at emple.ng and
Okay.
we are online and we have it all on lockdown. Thank you.
And that's because from the topic we talked about today, you have to have it on lock.
Yes.
All right.
Because
So Dairy Adefulu, Group Chief General Counsel and for Nigeria, and Vivian Morgan, Senior Business Development Manager. Thank you so much
thank you for having us.
opening our minds a bit, because I think there's so much more that we could do,
Absolutely.
together, and to draw people in on the business, because insurance is suffering in the world. People don't believe in it. People think it's a waste of money. People are like, okay, I just put my money in and get it. So they're like, they start to do the math for you. So everybody brings their money and just nothing happens, and you guys are locked in. So I think we have a job for us. So same time next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
thank you so much for doing this. It's still Queens on the mic. You out there listening, I hope you have had such an enlightening time with our guests in the studio. And don't forget, join the same time next week. The show continues with mini boss MC Yala, and she calls this one Boss Lady.
Many boss. Yeah. Yo kwanza mene boss, mene dem, mene yala. Me no microphone to make sure mene yana. Mimi njo kusema ndiyo inasemekana. Na wale wanayama ndiyo inaonekana. Kama Diana nika salamiana. Producer Debaka never bekale sana. Nika wanza kuandika mastanza. Zika nibamba nika police na manyange.